Excuse me, Mr. Carpenter.
Yes?
We seem to have a slight mix-up. If you don't mind, I'd like to seat you at another table.
Oh, but I do mind.
But I'm afraid this table is reserved for Dr. Phillips, a party of 4. Somehow your name was added by mistake.
That's unfortunate, isn't it? I guess you'll have to find another spot for them.
I'm sorry, sir, but this is a reservation for a party of 4. I do have a table for 2 available.
Well, I see no need for all of us to be ill-mannered.
Thank you, sir. I'm sorry for the inconvenience, if you'll follow me.
Running true to form, I see, Mrs. Davidson.
Excuse me?
Intruding, as usual, but of course the Davidsons are noted for that, especially your son. May I say that his attentions to my niece are not welcome.
Come on.
Did you say love, Davidson? You're in love with Courtney? You hold it down. What do you want to do? Announce it to the world? What, are you afraid Vaughn, my boy, is going to hear us?
I haven't even told Courtney yet. I'd like for her to hear it from me.
So what's the holdup?
I can't find her. I've looked all over campus.
Well, there's Juliet now, Romeo.
Courtney! Hey!
Mr. Carpenter was referring to his niece, Courtney.
Oh, I didn't know he had relatives in town.
She's from Chicago. She's a freshman at Kingsley.
Oh, that's where Peter met her.
Yeah, and he's lost some sleep over her, I'm sure.
Really? You think this is the real one this time?
Real enough to ask me for advice.
Oh? What advice did you give him, dear Abby?
Just that I didn't think he should keep his feelings buried. It's best to try to get them out into the open, to deal with them realistically.
Very wise advice. I think I'll keep on reading your column.
You think so?
Of course. I think if anybody felt that way about me, I'd want to know about it.
I apologize for being late. My lecture lasted a little longer than I anticipated.
Jeremy, I don't like to be kept waiting.
Well, neither do I, Mr. Carpenter. Though we might have to wait just a little bit longer here.
What in heaven's name for?
Because the owner of the Dar Salaam Bible is supposed to meet us here, and I don't believe he's showed up yet. Excuse me, waiter?
Yes, sir.
Could you tell me if a Dr. Dave Phillips asked for me? My name is Jeremy Lancelot.
Oh, yes, Dr. Phillips is already here. The table right over there.
Oh, good. Thank you. Well, shall we join them?
Now, when it comes to feelings and emotions, I think you should always be honest with yourself.
Agreed. But I don't think that's an easy thing for Peter. It's not for me either. I guess it's a family trait.
That's strange. You always seem to be the most open person I know.
Excuse me, Dr. Phillips?
Oh, Mr. Lancelot?
Yes. Just call me Jeremy. It's a pleasure to meet you.
And you too.
This is one of our board members.
Yes, we've met.
You have. Seems the reservation in both our names was no mistake after all. Oh, this is Terry Davidson, a friend of mine.
Oh, how do you do? Nice to meet you. Well, should we get started?
Yes, please, sit down.
I was under the impression that this was a business luncheon. Mrs. Davidson is included?
Yes, she is, Mr. Carpenter. I invited her.
Think I should go for it? Take on the investment, huh?
You want my opinion?
Yes.
Well, I think that it's a good idea, investing in art, but I think you ought to think about it a little while. I mean, you don't really know all that much about it.
Well, that's why I'm reading up on it, Harold. Slowly but surely, I'll get the gist of this.
Well, sure, but Russ, there's more to investing in art than the name across the bottom of a picture. You got to think about maintenance, about preservation. Hey, what happens if you got hold of a real, genuine masterpiece?
Look, Harold, arts, practically any kind that I would lend to a museum, that's a sure investment. Now, that much I know.
Oh, I'm not going to argue with you there, Russ. Just
The museum would even be responsible for some of the upkeep and the overhead.
Yes, I realize that, but what about the initial expense? You got to pay that off, and I don't know. I just think you ought to get hold of an expert, a consultant, somebody who knows more about artwork than finger painting and pop art, and that lets me out. Yeah. Yeah, oh, sure, Brubaker. Put him on. Russ, well, grab a seat. This will be just a second. Yeah, John? Oh, whoa. Slow down a second. Who? Who's Claudia? Oh, yeah, that crazy woman that lives across from Amber. The night of the murder? Yeah. Do that. I'll be right here.
What's up?
An eyewitness. I just made a positive identification of Sebastian Knight. Coming out of Amber's apartment. Right after Kate's murder.
Will you wait a second? Come on, what? I'm sorry.
Sorry for what?
For whatever I've done to make you run away from me.
I'm not running.
Sure avoiding me. Can't deny that.
I'm busy.
Yeah? Hiding around every corner? You're not returning my calls. What is this?
I'm sorry, Peter, but you don't understand.
No, I don't understand. What happened to us?
Peter, not here. I can't go into it.
Where then?
Why don't we just drop it altogether?
No way.
Peter, if you care for me at all.
Of course I care for you. What? You're not being fair to me. You're not being fair to yourself.
How can you be so sure of that? You don't know what I'm going through.
No, but I want to know.
I have to go.
Courtney, I don't know what you're going through. But I do know how I feel.
It doesn't make any difference.
Courtney.
Well, what did she say? Did you talk to her? Did you tell her?
No.
Davidson, you're blowing it. Every time you get close to this girl, you lose your nerve.
Hey, look, the timing was wrong, all right? What do you want me to just blurt it out or what?
Well, maybe that's the only thing she's gonna hear.
She'll hear. She'll hear. I'll make sure of that.
Where are you going?
Farrell Hall. I might be able to catch you there.
Well, when exactly did you come across the Dar es Salaam Bible?
Well, my ex-wife left it to me in her will.
You inherited it?
Yeah.
Well, I thought you might have bought it from a dealer, particularly one from the island of Doria.
Doria? That sounds familiar.
Doria?
Yes, it's a republic off the coast of East Africa. I was there on excavation once.
I've never heard of it.
Oh, that's where I heard his name.
Who?
Of the prince who gave Kate the Bible.
Not Prince Dar es Salaam himself.
Well, yes, that was the name. It's a long time ago, though, right after Kate and I were divorced.
That's amazing.
Did you know this prince?
Actually, he was a king of Doria, but he was forced into exile after the revolution. But no, I never had a chance to meet him. Did your wife? How did you come in contact with him?
Well, it's an interesting story. Kate met him when he was touring the U.S. during his exile. For some reason, he was very impressed with her work with voters' rights, and so he gave her several expensive gifts, the Bible being one of them, I guess. She told me all about him, but I didn't know anything about the Bible until she left it to me in the will.
Jeremy tells me that this Bible is worth its weight in gold, so to speak.
Well, it's worth even more to the Vatican. The Bible was stolen from a Roman monastery during the 17th century, and they say to this day there's still people praying for its return.
Well, how did this get in Dar es Salaam's hands to begin with?
I don't know that, but maybe we can find out from the Bible.
I don't understand.
Well, they say there's a curse on the Bible, and anybody who has possession of the Bible will be killed if they don't return it.
Oh, certainly you can't be serious about that.
There's some people that believe that. There's also a belief that anybody in possession will become a very wealthy man. So you see, we got a curse on one side and a blessing on the other. I guess the question is, which comes first?
Anyone who reads it will be blessed, Mr. Lancelot, not cursed.